Welcome to Banished! I think I now have found a balance for all my games that I'm playing at the moment, so from now on you'll get one day each one episode of Underrail and Interstellaria, and on the next day you'll get one episode of RimWorld and Banished. I think that should work out. If it doesn't, I'll change it again, that's no problem. As always, if you find the music too loud or not loud enough, let me know in the comment section, I can change it. I didn't think it's too loud, but if it should be, just let me know and that won't be a problem. Since I haven't played this game yet at all, I just watched someone play it, and if you didn't know what the mechanics behind it are, you don't understand the thing. So we are actually going to Let's Tutorial. Okay. Camera movement, constructing basic buildings, assigning workers to jobs, starting a new town. Okay, these are not very much actually, and I suppose we should be through them quite quickly. Welcome to Banished. In this game you control a group of exiled travelers who decide to restart their lives in a new land, but I have to help them survive. At any time during this tutorial you can access the option menu by pressing that or escape. Nice, works. From the option menu you can save or and load your progress, change settings or exit the game. Okay, WASD, that's pretty much standard. You can move to the... okay. Scrolling I found without you telling, but it will be rotate the view by Q and E, and also by holding middle mouse button. That is my most unfavorite mouse button at all, because you can't hardly press it without scrolling, and that's... I probably use Q and E because my hand is always on WASD. That's zoom camera by pressing insert and delete. That's... wow, no. Scrolling with the scroll wheel will do it. With the mouse wheel, not scroll wheel. You can change the pitch of the camera, page up, page down. Whoa. Actually, that might be very useful, but I'll hardly do it. Keyboard configurations are... the keyboard keys are configurable and can be modified in the options menu. You know what? Nothing's stopping us. Why do I have more mouse buttons? Because it's very, very nice to have. We'll hardly use it anyways, but now we have configured it a way that I will use it at all. Now that you are familiar with the movement controls, it's time to start playing. The people you control need 3 things to survive: shelter, food and a way to keep warm in the winter. You might also notice that some people have this icon floating above their head. Some, let's say everyone. This means doesn't have townsfolk don't have a place to live. You can provide townsfolk with places to live by building homes for them. First, select the housing menu on the toolbar. Well, actually, I would have preferred if they would have told us how to stop the time flow in the game, which I know is possible. Wooden house on the toolbar. Placing a building will leave a footprint where it will be built. To get the townsfolk to start construction, you'll have to collect wood for the structure and stone for the foundation. You can cut down trees and remove rocks from the landscape by using destruction tools. Start by pressing or F9. Actually, I will be using these ones instead of the numbers. Okay. Townsfolk will head to that area and start removing rocks and trees. While they are busy, you can place a stockpile where the citizens will store logs, stone, iron and firewood. Select storage tools by pressing OK. Actually, that far I would have come by myself, but I wouldn't have placed the house in here. The townsfolk will move the harvested rocks and trees to the stockpile. Once there are materials in the stockpile, the people will move rocks and stone to construction locations. While any townsperson can cut down a tree or move materials from one place to another, some jobs require specialized workers. In case of construction, you need to assign builders. Nice, but actually if I can, I will... Builders can now begin construction. Just one house isn't enough. We need 3 more houses to give other families a place to live. Once again, housing. Yes, I thought... Oh my god. With T or R. Okay, T or R, I have to remember that. Oh god, that's already looking awful, even though they haven't started building. Sometimes it takes a while for people to... Yes, I start to 5 times. And this is more simulation with 2, really? Okay, yeah, that's at least it's not that far away from WASD, so try getting... You can slow down once all the house is built. Okay. Let's see. But oh, of course I cranked up all the graphic options in the game, so we actually are seeing the... Wait, let's just show it. Don't tell, show. DirectX 11, my graphics card is there. No, there isn't anything higher. The highest refresh rate. Maximum, everything. Because why do I have a good computer if I don't use it? And exactly for that kind of games I bought it. I hardly play any graphic-based action games. I do enjoy Assassin's Creed once in a while, but really most of the time I spend with city or base building games, and their high-rate computer is better to have just in order to build larger bases and to support more units on screen, and of course making it look very cool. Yes, actually I wouldn't have built these houses that way, because as you saw, the reserve of food is low. Yeah, that's no wonder. And they're cold and hungry. Firewood, yeah, we actually don't have any because the tutorial doesn't want us to at the moment. Oh, I didn't actually mean to do that. Just... Great. So now we can... Yeah, and now the game forbids us from stopping the time again. Great, you've built houses for all the townsfolk. That may have seemed like a lot of work for a few houses, but now you know how to build anything. To build any structure, place a barrier, and I know the citizens will clear the area. Yeah, that's pretty much basic. If you played Command & Conquer or anything like that, you will be able to build in this game. People are going to need food, otherwise they'll starve. They can acquire food in a variety of ways. They can hunt, gather fish, plant crops, grow orchards, or raise livestock. Livestock? Livestock? I think it's livestock, but at the moment we have more important matters. If the people are close to starving to death, the hunger icon... yeah, okay. Since the town Israel by fishing dogs. Select food production from the toolbar by okay. Okay, let's root. Yes, and we are obliged to put it somewhere. Select professions. Fisherman. assign 4. Okay, as you wish. You notice this icon on my... Yes, that means the workers don't have a place to work. As soon as fishing dock is complete, they start working, icon will disappear. Yes, I already thought so. Yeah, but unfortunately we cannot speed up the game again. Thank you, dear tutorial. Any window? Yes, that I have noticed before, and that is very cool. You can rearrange the whole user interface by dragging things around. I suppose these are an exception, but this is very cool because I'd like to have the professions bar on top of here. You can also close, but I don't want to close. Yeah, whilst you can use the time tools again. Okay, how nice. Let's watch them a little bit while building the fisher dock. The fishing dock, not the fisher dock. And let's speed up a little bit at least. Yeah, the children are watching. If you build roads, people will move slightly faster as they move from place to place. Place roads by first selecting roads and bridges on the toolbar, of course. Next, select dirt road. Yeah, and if you would have allowed me to do it the way I intended to, that would have been a lot more effective. Using a mouse, click, drag. So you even intended for me to do that in one move. The same builders that construct buildings will prepare the road for use. After they perform construction, the townsfolk will move faster when traveling on roads. Yeah, no joking. As the town grows and workers produce food and other resources from many locations, it is useful to see an overview what the town has available. This information can inform... Yes, and that's one of the informations I would never ever close. In the overview you can see the amount of stored construction materials, food, firewood, clothing and tools. You can also see the current population, average health and happiness, as well as the current weather. Well, yeah, if I'm blinded by the beauty of all the graphics, I can see the weather in here. Okay, is there... Let's see, game. Show Celsius temperature. Sorry for everyone who prefers Fahrenheit, but I am from Europe and I cannot read Fahrenheit temperatures. So, 26 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it's warm. So they're not freezing, they are lying. And over here you can... When food or other consumable goods are produced, they need to be stored somewhere. Until now the people have been placing everything in the cart that they arrived with. You can place a storage barn that can hold more. Start by selecting storage tools. Okay. If you look at the overview tool, you can see that there aren't enough logs to build the storage barn. I can see that there. I can see we haven't probably enough if I knew. You have to cut down more trees, yes? Yes, and I'll do it exactly as you wish, tutorial. Otherwise you punish me by not doing anything. The people also need a way to stay warm in the winter. The easiest way to do that is to cut logs into firewood. To do this, you'll need a place for a woodcutter to work. Okay, production woodcutter. Yes, and as this is a very basic tutorial, it's placing everything most closely together. If the townsfolk are in danger of freezing to death, then I can... Yeah, that's what I thought to myself. This icon will... Okay, this will appear. They don't have... Okay, now I understand. No, wait until the barn is... I actually would want to select it to see the progress, which actually can be done. But, of course... Well, at least the graphics are decent. Well, I'm not too much into graphics, but if a game uses 3D graphics, it should look decent. Otherwise, there's no use in using good graphics in the first place. Okay, let's speed it up a little bit. Actually, that far I would probably have gotten without the tutorial. Without showing off, but that's the most simple survivalist task. So, storage place, producing firewood, producing food, and fishing is the most primitive way to produce food. Well, the building graphics look pretty decent. That's better than many of the similar games that I've seen. Even as a ladder on the side, which is most sensible. Well, of course, there has to be some concessions to be made with the graphics, so trees won't be cut up in detail but disappear and turn into a pile of prepared wood, of course, but that's okay. I mean, I've been playing RimWorld. This is, from graphics side, a kind of gigantic upgrade. Oh, and the weather effects are nice, I have to say. You can always assign workers by using the professions tool, but you can also change the number of workers when examining the details of the structure. Click the woodcutter building to view the details. Yeah, that detail window I was actually looking for. A worker will now start producing firewood. He or she will move logs from stockpiles to the building and cut them into firewood. The rest of the townsfolk will use the firewood to heat their homes. Yeah, and probably the next thing he'll tell me is the fuel limit. No, you won't? Now that the storage barn is built, the cart that the people arrived with is no longer needed. You can remove it, and anything else you build with the... I'm sorry. Better that way. I hate tutorials which demand absolute precision. But okay, we'll take this as once we've started we can be as unprecise or precise as we want to. Yes. With some maintenance and a little luck, a small town like this will survive for many years. The children will grow up, become workers and have children of their own. New houses can be built and the town can continue to expand. If at any point you need help with something in the game or a description of how a building or tool works, you can refer to the in-game help. Start by pressing help or... Well, that's nice. It's a Gameopedia. Can read some help reference and press next to play the next tutorial. Focuses on resource production and survival. Press quit to... No, we will actually go on. As the town grows, additional specialized buildings can make survival easier. In this tutorial, you'll build work areas for blacksmiths, tailors, herbalists, and foresters. That's nice, because that's exactly what I didn't quite get in the Let's Play videos from other YouTubers that I have seen. First place, a blacksmith. A blacksmith is used to make tools for the citizens to work with. Start by selecting resource production on the toolbar, yes, the tree icon. And the blacksmith. And turn with R and T in place. You can place more buildings. Constructing the faster you can speed up the game. You're lying to me, game. I can't place more buildings. I actually have to speed up the game. Okay, so actually, yeah. A tailor and a herbalist, which makes most sense in the woods, and a forester's lodge to plant new saplings, yes. That I could get to by myself. Select the professions tool and assign one blacksmith, assign one tailor, assign one herbalist, and 3 foresters. Since the blacksmith isn't yet complete, you can use the time tools to speed up the game once you... Actually, we'll leave it like that and enjoy the graphics. Yeah, our workers need tools to efficiently do their jobs. What, Minecraft taught us that we can cut wood by using our bare hands. If a citizen doesn't have a tool for the following icon will appear above their head. Tools eventually wear out and need to be replaced, but the blacksmith can make new tools. Click on blacksmith. Blacksmith will use logs and iron to make new tools. Here you can see the inventory of what the blacksmith has in storage for making tools. If you run out of materials, the blacksmith... yeah. You can also control how many tools to make and put into storage by setting a limit. Yes, that's what I mentioned before. If the building isn't producing goods because of this limit has been hit, the limit icon will... yeah, that's a nice thing actually. You can enable and disable work button, yeah, tool button. You can also change the product the blacksmith does by using logs, iron and coal. Click on the tailor building. During the winter months, townsfolk stay warm by occasionally returning to their heated homes. With the tailor you can help the workers ward off the cold and stay outside longer by crafting better clothing. The tailor can use leather or wool to make clothes or a combination of both to make the best clothing. If you run out of the needed materials, the tailor won't be able to work. When this occurs, the following icon will appear above the building. Makes sense. Since the herbalist isn't complete yet, we'll watch the rest of the townsfolk. Click on the herbalist to view details. An herbalist will collect herbs from the surrounding forest and help the townsfolk stay healthy. The yellow circle on the ground is the buildings, around the building shows the area that the herbalist will search for herbs. Citizens need a variety of foods to stay healthy, such as meat, vegetable, fruits and grains. If the townsfolk are not healthy, they are more prone to diseases. That's not good. Herbs collected by the herbalist can be used to help keep the townsfolk healthy if their diet is poor. Herbs usually only grow near old trees. This is something to keep in mind when you place an herbalist building. Click on the forester lodge to view its details. Rather than constantly clearing areas of trees to produce firewood, the workers at Forester's Lodge will manage the forest for you. Workers will plant new trees and cut down old ones in an area around the building. The yellow circle on the ground around the Forester Lodge Shows the area the foresters will work in. You can enable and disable the cutting of trees. When cutting is disabled, no trees will be cut down. Okay, we can't at the moment. You can also enable and disable the planting of trees. When planting is disabled, no new saplings will be planted around the building. Foresters will also remove rock and all that is in their work area to make room for more trees to be planted. By using these buildings, you can help make sure the citizens have tools, warm clothes for the winter, good health and replenishable forests. Press next to play the next tutorial. Of course. Wow, the second one didn't take as far as much time. There are many ways to produce food for the citizens of your town. Hunting, fishing and gathering can be used to harvest food from the environment, or you can clear the land and plant orchards, grow crops and raise livestock. Before food can be produced, you need to construct buildings and create areas for food production. You can start by placing a pasture for livestock. Select food production on the toolbar. Okay. Pasture. Using the mouse click in one corner of the direct mouse, you can change placement of the building using T or R. While the pasture is being built, you can place other buildings. A hunting cabin can be used to designate an area where hunters should search for wild game. Hunters need either open fields or forests nearby to effectively hunt. Okay. Similar to hunters, gatherers search for and collect food that is growing in the forest. Farmers can work a field and grow crops. To place one, yeah, of course. To place the crop field, use the mouse, click on the corner, direct the mouse to the farm. Yeah. Farmers can also work in an orchard that produces fruit and nuts. This crop field is currently disabled as indicated by the following icon. Select it. To enable grow of crops, you first have to select the type of seed to plant. You can acquire more seed types by trading with merchants at the trading post. Select one of the crops. Let's do potatoes. Farmers and the spring workers will plant seeds in the field and autumn they harvest crops. You can direct them to harvest crops early by selecting harvest. Okay. After planting, the yield meter will show how mature the growing plants are and can be used as a gauge to determine how much food will be produced. You can disable or enable work at the crop field by toggling the work button. Yeah. Like crop field, an orchard will be disabled if you until you pick it. Okay. To get workers, you first have to say you can acquire more tree seeds by yes. Let's do apples. You need to assign more farmers to work in the orchard. To 6. The farmers will plant trees and they will grow over time. It may take several years for the trees to produce fruit. Normally farmers will harvest fruit in the autumn, but you can direct them to harvest the fruit early by pressing you can cut down all the trees in an orchard for wood or if you want to produce a different type of fruit. Okay, that's very sensible. You can disable or enable. Oh god, the weather here is awful. We should have settled somewhere else, maybe in the Caribbean. You can disable or enable work, and yeah, that's the same as and the yield meter shown several years before. Select the pasture. To enable the use of pasture, you first have to select and you can acquire more animals by trading with merchants. Select sheep. Also assign herdsmen. Without herdsmen, the animal will not still have enough to reproduce efficiently. 2 workers. If you want to move all the animals from this pasture into another pasture, you can press the empty button. If you want to split the herd in order to increase the number of animals, you can press the split button. To do this, you'll have to space You can disable or enable work at the pasture by toggling the work button. If the pasture isn't been working, the animals continue to grow, but they won't reproduce as quickly. If there are too many animals in the pasture, the herdsman will slaughter them for meat. You can control how many animals you keep in the pasture by changing the value of this slider. This allows you to quickly gain meat for food if the supply runs low. Okay. Hunters will search the area around the hunting cabin in search of wild game. In addition to providing meat, hunting deer can provide leather which can be used by tailors to make clothes. Yes, and that's the same as for every other. If we push this button, it will disable work in this building and they won't work. At any food producing location, you can control the maximum amount of food to produce. Mouth is running dry now. Once the amount of food in storage reaches the limit, the workers will cease working. Click the gatherer's hut to gatherers will search the area around the building in search of food that grows in the forest. And the timer says that the episode is already over, so we will continue with the next tutorial, or we'll continue with this tutorial in the next episode. Thank you for joining in. If you liked what I did, thumbs ups for free. If you didn't like it, thumbs downs for free as well. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section. There's a link in the video description if you want to try Banished for yourself. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.